Okay, so let's look at the second part of this assignment, which is page 24 in our Home Connections book, at more adding fractions. So um, these are problem solving questions or story problem questions, and we're just going to do number 2 and 3. If you want to try 4 and 5, I'll put the answers down, but you don't have to do the challenges of 4 and 5. So let's just look at 2 and 3 for now. It says Abby and Lauren are preparing for a dance performance. On Monday, they practiced 2/3 of an hour. On Tuesday, they practiced 5/6 of an hour. How long did they practice on Monday and Tuesday altogether? Well, thinking about what we just worked on the last page, we can try to figure out what 2/3 of an hour and 5/6 of an hour is worth. And I would like to switch those fractions into twelfths because that will help me better visualize how much time has passed. Okay, we could also do sixths because 3 is a factor of 6, but I'm going to do twelfths for now just because of the clock method. Okay, so 2/3 of an hour is how many twelfths, and 5/6 of an hour is how many twelfths. So once we have our common denominator, we'll be able to add them straight across, right? So if I go back and look at the page before, I can figure out how many twelfths 2/3 is and how many twelfths 5/6 is. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'm going to show you a different way. So when I look at my clock method down here, I notice that 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. Okay, so this is 2/3 of the clock, and it goes to the 8. So 2/3 is the same as 8/12. I'm using what I already have, so I'm going to use that. And then when I look over here, I see 5/6, and 5/6 is the same as 10/12. So 8/12 and 10/12. So I'm going to go back to my page here. I'm going to write 2/3 is 8/12 and 5/6 is 10/12. So the way that we could also solve that is by creating and looking at our fractions and creating common multiples here. So if I am going from 3 to 12, I know I have to multiply by 4 to get to 12. So 3 times 4 is 12. And whatever I do to the bottom, it got to do to the top. So I'm going to multiply the 2 by 4 to get to 8. That's how we make common denominator and common fractions. So 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. So it's the same as 8/12. I'm not going to do anything there. 5/6. How did I get from 6 to 12? Well, I multiplied by 2. And whatever I do to the bottom, got to do to the top. So we're going to multiply the top by 2. Sorry for the shaky. So 6 times 2 was 12. 5 times 2 was 10. So 2/3 is 8/12. 5/6 is 10/12. Now I can add 8/12. I don't know why I did this so far apart, but 8/12 plus 10/12 equals, let's see, the 12 will stay the same because it's out of that whole 12ths, but I need to add 8 plus 10. 18/12, but that doesn't tell me how much time has elapsed. That just gives me the fractional piece out of twelfths, right? So if I know that there are 12 numbers in a clock to make one whole, so I know I'm going to have one whole hour. And then how much is left over if I take 12/12 away from 18/12? So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 6/12 left. Apologize for my dogs. 1 and 6/12. And I noticed that 1 and 6/12, 6/12 is half. So half an hour, right? So 1 hour and a half hour is one. Let's see, how do we want to write this? We'll do 1.5 hours, or 90 minutes. Okay, 1.5 hours or 90 minutes. If I wanted to, let me see if I can. So I have 1 full hour here. If I did my clock method in 1, and I'm going to fill that space. So 1.5 hours. All right, number 3. On Wednesday, excuse me, on Wednesday, Abby and Lauren could not practice together, so they practiced separately. Abby practiced 11/12 of an hour. Lauren practiced 2/3 of an hour. How long did they practice on Wednesday? So all together. So 11/12, that's nice. That's already done for us. And if we remember 11/12, 11, when the big hand is on the 11, that equals, I'm just going to write that in right now, 55 minutes. Okay. And 2/3, remember, is up here. I should have written this down. 8/12 is 40 minutes, and 10/12 is 50 minutes. I should have done that before. I'm sorry, because that would really show you that that's 90 minutes. But back to number 3. Sorry about that. 2/3 of an hour equals 8/12, or we're going to write it this time 40 minutes. So 55 minutes and 40 minutes. Okay. 55 plus 40. Let's just do it that way. Or we could say, we could do it both ways 11/12 plus 8/12, and then 55 plus 40. So let's see what minutes we get here. 95 minutes. Wow. So that's an hour and 35 minutes, because I knew that 90 minutes is an hour and a half. 95 is an extra 5 minutes. So it could be that. We could write it as an hour 35 minutes. We could write it as 95 minutes. We could also write it as 11 plus 8, which is 17/12, which is the same as 1 and 7/12. There's so many ways to write this. But the question is, how long did they practice? So the real answer for this would be 1 hour and 35 minutes, or 95 minutes. Okay. Go ahead and try number 4 and 5 if you'd like. But I'm not going to, I'll just tell you that 4, the sum must be greater than 1. But you need to tell me why if you want to try number 4 as a bonus. And then number 5 is the sum must be less than 1. But you need to tell me why, okay? All right. Hope that helped for page 24. That was a quick one. I know. Hopefully you can get that and do the work. All right. Let me see if I can stop this now. I'm watching the Seahawks right now, so got to get back to the game. All right.